8 Best Presidential Love Stories in U.S. History.
Most love stories sound a little different depending on who's telling it. But when you're in the public eye as, for example, a top-ranking government official, you learn to get your how we met story down to a science with your spouse in recent decades. Especially, presidential candidates have used their home life, marriage, and story of how they met their partner as a way to connect the public to their human side and give a sense of what they're about on a personal level. Over the years, we've fallen in love with the love stories behind President Joe Biden and Dr. Jill, Barack and Michelle Obama, or JFK and Jackie Kennedy. And it seems as though a history of bold romantic gestures goes back almost as far as the presidency itself.
When it comes to current President Joe Biden, his love story with Dr. Jill Biden is so well known in part because the tragedy that preceded it is so well known. The death of first wife Nelia and their 1-year-old daughter Naomi years before he met Jill. But it's also well known because of its larger-than-life, boombox-in-a-window show of devotion. Joe proposed 5 times before Jill accepted, much like Barack Obama had to prove himself to convince Michelle to go on date with him. When they did finally go out, a date turned into all day spent together, just like the Reagans' first date and the Johnsons too. Becoming president of the United States is no small task to embark upon with a life partner. And these marriages point to the bonds that made much of American history possible. Coming home to Nancy was like coming out of the cold into a warm room with a fireplace. Ronald used to say of Nancy Reagan.
James Madison and Dolly Payne, 1794. Dolly Payne was 25 when she first caught the eye of future President James Madison in Philadelphia, and he was smitten from the very first look. After having Aaron Burr introduce him to the young widow, Madison fell deeply in love. With Payne's cousin accounting for his feelings like this in a 1794 letter, he has lost his tongue. At night, he dreams of you and starts in his sleep a-calling on you to relieve his flame, for he burns to such an excess that he will be shortly consumed. He has consented to everything that I have wrote about him with sparkling eyes.